Hello guys, hope you guys have a good day today and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about Google Alphabet. Just announced a good earning and it's also announced 20-for-1 stock split. Is it a good news or bad news to all investors out there? Or if you're not even an investor, is it a good time to buy at this level? Should you buy before the stock split or should you wait and buy after the stock split? And this video is going to tell you all and explain to you how you're going to handle and explain to you if you're interested in Google and how you're going to trade it, okay? If this is your first time in my channel, and my channel is all about crypto and stock trading analysis, and usually I do daily updates, and please turn on your notifications, that way that you would not miss out any market updates. Okay guys, let's start. Let's talk about Google's earnings first. So it has a great result, right? So the expected revenue for the last 12 months, it grew 41% of the year. And also their net incomes grew about 88%, right? And also another thing that we look at, their free cash flows also gone from 42 billion to 67 billion. And the business is extremely profitable, as we can see on their income statement and balance sheet, right? And also the amount of the cash they have on the balance sheet is reasonable enough to invest all the business sector that they are trying to grow right now. So their financials is very healthy. So overall, if you are like a long-term investor, it doesn't matter what price, or it doesn't matter what price you get in, it will be a good company to invest in, as everybody knows Google is a good company. In particular today, since they're doing 20-to-1 stock split, a lot of people questioning, is it good for the investors? Is it bad for the investors? Okay, let's look at Apple when 2020 September, okay, around that time that when Apple did the split, people buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So before the split, the price skyrocketed a little bit, and then after the split, it come down and it pulled back, right? So in the long run, it doesn't affect either a split or not, right? People, it's just keep buying Apple, right? So Apple is a very healthy company, right? Pretty much everyone having an iPhone, right? So you know that Apple is in a good business, right? So as a trader, okay, as a day trader or swing trader, so how you trade Apple, or back in 2020, if I remember, they announced the split about like a month before they actually did the split. So they announced right now, right? But the stock split is in July the 15th, so they have 6 months away. Okay, in this case, in Google, you cannot really buy the rumor and sell the news, because like you have 6 months period that's waiting for it is actually happened for the split. Okay. But in Apple, actually, like the time period is really short, right? So people actually like accumulating a lot of share before the split. The split happened, you see like the chart, it dropped a little bit, right? It dropped as soon as they announced it, right? But when you see the chart for 1 year, it doesn't really affect much, right? It go back up, right? So it on the uptrend, right? So remember, 2020 and 2021 is a different story, okay? Buy the rumor, sell the news, it might not work in 2022 for Google, okay? Why I'm telling you this, when you look at, so Tesla also did a split around that time, okay? So, when you look at the chart on Tesla, when they announced a month before that, it's also the stock price, like go up, right? And then it pulled back a little bit, but in the 1 year term, you see Tesla stock is also in up. If you like investors in Tesla or Apple, it doesn't matter what price you get into, you're gonna make money, right? When you're looking at the longer term period. But if you like a day trader or swing trader, usually those are buy the rumors, sell the news. You buy before the split, so you sell as soon as they do the split, right? So as you can see, Apple and Tesla, as I say, the case in Google might be a little bit different, because they have the 6 months period waiting for the actual shares gonna convert. They converted in July 15, right? This buy the rumor, sell the news, it might not work, okay? But if you're like a long-term investor on Google, it doesn't really matter like what price you get in. I would dollar cost averaging, right? Like my best strategy is dollar cost averaging, okay? Because Google is a very, very, very good company. Like if you're not investors in Google, you should take a look at their business, how much money they make on Google ad and how much money they make on YouTube, revenues, advertising money from Google search engines and YouTube. Okay guys, I try to help you guys understand, what's the stock split, okay? So the stock split doesn't really affect your intrinsic value of the company, okay? Just remember this. It doesn't matter how they split it. It doesn't affect your intrinsic value, okay? It's just gonna affect the share that you're holding, okay? And the amount, it just affects the amount of the share you're holding and the share price, okay? So in this case, if Google trading at $3,000, right? They do the $20 split. So if they do 20, split, so you use 3,000 divided by 20. So you have 3,000 divided by 20, you have 150. So the share price is gonna be $150 a share, right? But then your shares gonna increase 20 times, right? At the end of the day, your account, the money doesn't change. The value of the stock of Google in your account doesn't change at all. Okay? It's just like after the share split, the share looks cheaper. So psychologically, is it very cheaper? No, it's not, because your current intrinsic value doesn't really change at all, right? You know what I mean? So it does really help small retail investors. They can buy like a whole share of Google or like a couple shares of Google instead of like fraction of like $3,000 a share of Google, right? So for example, if you only have $1,000, you cannot even buy one share of Google. But now, if the stock split $150 now a share, so you can buy a few shares of Google. So it's good for a lot of small retail investors to get into Google, right? So people excited, so they can get like a whole share of Google, right? You know what I mean? So what's that mean? So that means would drive more demands to buy shares in Google, right? So in that case, it might drive up the stock price, right? So it would be easier, right? And also a second reason would be better to trade options with a smaller share price, right? So people can actually, buy more options in a smaller dollar amount, right? Once more options in place, that will also drive up the stock price, right? Case in the short term, the share demand is increased. So in the short term, you will see some price increase, but in the long run, you still want to see how the company's performance is, right? But which is what we expect. Google is always would have a pretty good, performance, right? When you look at the long-term chart, is always going up, going on an uptrend. Now at $2 trillion company, right? So as a Google investor, I would think that, stock split is also a good thing for long-term Google investors, right? Because it drives more demands for the Google shares, right? Because more small retail investors can buy into it, right? It doesn't matter long-term and short-term, it still benefit the long-term investors, okay? For the traders also, there's always opportunity for you to swing this trade, right? For option traders also, like you could buy call. But also remember 2020 and 2021, the market is different than 2022 now. So if you are the trader, try to swing trade this stock split event. Since they announced now 6 months, July 15, that's the time that they're gonna convert the share. By the rumor sale news, it would be a long time to go, okay? But either way, a stock split, which is a good thing for the company. Okay, good thing for the shareholders. You have more investors coming in. Don't forget to subscribe my channel if you like market updates, and also turn on your notifications, because I will have crypto and stock market news on a daily basis, and you guys don't want to miss this. And please like and subscribe, okay guys? All right guys, thank you.